My name is Rick Addante. I'm an assistant professor in psychology at Florida Tech. I've been here for the last 3 years, and I came here because I was excited about the direction that we're growing on the Space Coast and being the STEM university for the region. The kind of research that I do is cognitive neuroscience. So I'm in the psychology department. I study the combination of the human mind and brain, and basically the intersection of psychology and biology. One of the reasons why I came to Florida Tech was to spearhead the development of a space psychology program where we can more seamlessly interface with the aerospace industry and build on what NASA's next directions are for these long duration space explorations to the lunar base and to a Mars mission, where we're actually studying humans and how do they survive for long periods of time in these conditions of isolation and confinement in extreme situations. And we can look at that in environments that are analogous to space travel that we call analogs. And that's what some of these missions have done. I was a crew member in one mission, I was a principal investigator in another, and kind of building from those experiences, I want to now help Florida Tech build those next new directions in the space psychology. And we're pretty optimally suited for that here on the Space Coast. And there's really some great opportunities to move in. I've been teaching as a professor for nearly 10 years now, and I was attracted to it because I love teaching. I love sharing information with students, getting to know students, getting to hear their stories, and also getting them involved in the research projects that we work on, where we can not just share knowledge, but get them involved in the process where we create knowledge. So the kind of careers that a lot of the students have progressed towards from my lab and from the research that we've done has ranged from the private sector to government to traditional academia. So we've had several students go on to PhD programs in psychology and neuroscience. They've garnered federal grants for National Research Service awards, and other students have decided to go into the applied aspect of that, and they've gone to work in places like NASA Johnson Space Center. A lot of people think success are the things that we can see outwardly when a paper gets published or a student graduates. But I think what's most gratifying to me as both a teacher and a researcher and professor are the times that people don't get to see. So when you can work with a student one-on-one and hear their story of how they overcame some adversity or an obstacle through a challenge in your course, or when they made a discovery in the lab at 11 o'clock at night by themselves, and they had that thrill of discovery. And they said, that moment where they saw the result of a question that had not yet had an answer. Those kind of things don't really get, seen outward. But to me, those are marks of success when you hear those stories.